What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Cash's Collectibles, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Target exclusive Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy 15 Spider-Man. So this is what it looks like in the packaging. It kind of has this old vintage figure style look to it almost. As you can see, this is the, if you're unfamiliar, it's the cover art for the Amazing Fantasy 15 comic book. It's a little stylized. It's not exactly the same, but that's basically the idea. It's telling you have the web wings right here, and this figure is basically a reprint of a figure we've gotten before, except they made it a little more accurate, considering that they made the back emblem blue, which in the first comic book, in some panels it is blue and in others it is red. So, you know, it's up to interpretation on how you want it to be more accurate. But this one does have the blue emblem. I have an older Amazing Fantasy 15 one that has the back emblem, and that's pretty much the only difference I could find between these two. And on the back, it has this little text here. In Spider-Man's first adventure, tragedy teaches a young Peter Parker that with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah, that's the comic book that this is from. So let's get this out of the box. I'll show off the articulation a bit, and you know, we'll do the normal figure things. So first things first, let's take a look at the accessories that come with this figure. We get two open palm hands, as you can see just right here. Two web holding hands, two like gripping hands. You can put, as you'll see later, you have some web effects, but we have the two web hands, obviously the Spider-Man gesture, obviously the web wings. These ones are kind of like closed ones if you have your arms down and stuff like that. And then if you have your hands all the way up, you can kind of put these in, and it kind of fits form to his body. And last but not least, we have the web effect, which is fairly nice. I don't really use these web effects in my display. I kind of make my own with like this little, I don't know what it's called, it's like this little wire or whatever. But yeah, that's about it for the accessories. So we're just gonna move these over to the side, and we'll get straight into the accessories, or the articulation. We'll get straight into the articulation. So with the articulation, starting off with the head, we have, from the side, let's go from the side here. It kind of looks a little funny out of the packaging, but you can kind of move this down a bit and kind of make the head look a little nicer. Like that, right? So we get a really nice upwards angle like this. Look at that. Wow. And we got a pretty good down look angle like that. I guess it looks better like this, but it looks a little funky from this side. You get a little bit of sideways tilt, you kind of like, if you turn your head a little bit, you kind of get a little bit more, but not really. I wouldn't really count that as much. And obviously the 360 degrees all the way around. I'm not sure why you'll be needing to pose your Spider-Man like this, but it is an option if you want it to be. We got the butterfly joints here. Also, this figure is pretty stiff coming straight out of the packaging, but you get the idea. The butterfly joints there, they move back and forth. You see that right there. And the bicep twists here, you'll see this is where you plug in the web wings. The double joint at the elbow, it kind of goes like this. You can get it to move at both this joint and this joint, which is fairly nice. Obviously the wrist, we get 360 degrees, and then up and down depending on the fist or the hand gesture you're making. Next up, and this was a problem, and I did mention that I had one of these figures before, the older version with the red emblem. When I was playing around with the waist, it actually broke, and my this kind of crotch piece, this kind of bit, broke in half along the seam, and I had to super glue it and stuff. So I'm hoping that this one doesn't break on camera, because that would be quite unfortunate. But right here at the torso, we do get, I think it's 360 degrees. Yeah, there we go. 360 degrees around. Again, I don't know why you'd want to pose your Spidey like this, but you can if you really want to. You get a really good, stuff like that. You get a good up and down as well with this little ball joint. And for the moment of truth, let's see if this breaks my figure. Nope, it looks like we're good. Thank God. So we get this ab crunch as well, which is also pretty nice. So we get a little bit of back and a little bit of forward, which is always nice if you want to get those really nice crouched down poses, which I'll be showing you at the end. For the legs, last but not least, we got a good amount of this way, a pretty much no this way. I guess you can kind of like, I don't really know. You got really no back, but a 360 degree twist at the thigh. And again, let's see if I can get this, a double joint at the knee, 360 degrees at the calf, and pretty good like ankle articulation. You get a good amount of up and a good amount of down. I've never really had a problem with ankle articulation. I do wish that this figure had toe articulation, but I mean, what are you gonna do? So that's about it for the articulation. It's the same for almost every Spider-Man Marvel Legends I've ever seen, except I would improve upon it by adding toes. But other than that, it's pretty good. So yeah. So if you know anything about me, you know that this suit is one of my favorites. I actually bought a second of the same exact figure in that, but I'm keeping it in the box to go in my display. So you'll see that at the end of the video, but I love this suit. The Amazing Fantasy suit. I think I prefer the red emblem, but something about seeing the blue emblem finally on a figure like this, it just looks amazing, and I'm so in love with it. So I'll show you guys the web wings here in a second, and then we'll get into like actual poses and stuff. So here's something I just did to show off the webs a bit, and I'd be a liar if I said that these web attachments weren't a pain in the ass to put in. But, I mean, especially this one. This one honestly looks pretty good if I just have it on the side there. I actually do like that a lot. But this one, to find, like, a good pose to put the arm in, and then, like, to attach it, and then, like, make it look good with the body and stuff, I just don't see why I would ever use this. So I'm definitely not going to be using these type of web wings, just because I don't see a use for them, and I don't want to go through the trouble of like figuring out the best way and how they work and stuff. So here's kind of the first pose I put them in. I just kind of wanted, again, to show off the web wings. This isn't a super dynamic pose by any means. I just wanted to kind of give you a glimpse of how both of these web attachments look. That is one thing about the toe articulation. It is much easier to balance, but I just wanted to show off these specific pieces and not these longer ones, but I do think these look good. It's definitely like a gimmick, but I mean, I bet there are a lot of poses out there that you can really take advantage of these web wings. So right now I'm kind of just using an extra Dragon Ball Z SH Figure Arts stand to kind of give this guy some more dynamic poses. This is an in-flight, I guess he's like, I don't know, fucking flying this way or something and slinging a web, or just about to, right? So this is a kind of a cool pose. I guess I was trying to go for more like, oh shoot, that's the one thing about some of these flight poles. I don't know, something like that, I guess. I like it. If you have a really good, like, nice flight stand, you can make any Spider-Man figure do a lot of cool stuff. So this is kind of a cheaper one, but I am going to get some more soon. So this is really nice. I like this pose a lot. Let's hope it doesn't fall. But I did use the ugly web wings. I think they look pretty cool. As I said, I bet there are some poses that you could do with this guy. I might make this the thumbnail. I don't know. I have lots of thumbnail opportunities that are already taken already, but this looks pretty good. So I like this a lot. It really shows off the back emblem as well, which I do love, because that is kind of kind of the main focus of this figure, considering it is pretty much all the same as a previous figure, except for that part. Yeah, again, this is a really nice pose. So, yeah, this might be one of my favorites. This one is a similar pose. I changed a little bit from the previous one, but this one's kind of more now like he's jumping down, like kind of like jumping from a building or whatever, like he's landing in front of some bad guys, you can imagine, or, you know, something Spider-Man like. I do like this one a lot as well. Again, you can see the back emblem, you can see the web wings. This is taking advantage of that head tilt that is so obnoxious. It is just so down low, and I think I could get it a little farther if I wanted to, but I think that looks pretty good. I have no idea how I'm gonna display this guy on my case because, wow, I think there are a lot of good opportunities here for this specific figure. I think for the final pose, it is finally that I did the iconic Amazing Fantasy pose. I tried my best. You know, I worked with what I had. I'm kind of holding up this web right here. But as I said, I don't like these web pieces. If I do pose him in this pose, I'm going to build up some web effects and stuff like that just so it looks a little nicer. But, I mean, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Just letting go of the web. That's awkward, but, you know, it's an interesting pose. It's always been an interesting pose, even on paper. So, I mean, I tried. It kind of looks more like, yeah, look at that. That looks pretty good. So that might be the thumbnail too. Let's see. Yeah, so let me go put this guy up on my shelf. I might play around with some web effects. Who knows? But I'm going to go put this guy up and we'll end the video from there. So this is the Spider-Man section of my shelf right here. And honestly, it's been upgraded a little bit since the last time I made a video. For now, I just put him right here on this other stand. I got more of these kind of hexagon looking stands in the mail right now, so I'm going to upgrade that very, very soon. But for now, this is what it looks like. And honestly, I'm a huge fan of it. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please do like and subscribe. Comment down below any other recommendations you have for video games, other figures, or anything like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.